Yo, YouTube, it's Anarchist of Darkness, also known as Sir Killington of Color Struck, and I'm here to do another video in my Power Ranger t-shirt. If you guys haven't learned by now or heard by now, there was a shooting in Anaheim. A 13-year-old boy was shot at, but not actually hit, apparently, during an altercation. I went and looked it up, did a little bit of research, so there's too much he say, she say, so we don't know what actually happened, but we do know an adult male pretty much dragged a 13-year-old around for a good 3 minutes before discharging his weapon after a teenager swung at his head, swung at him. Apparently the guy was a cop, but he wasn't. It's unsure if he identified himself as a cop, and it's also unsure if the kids knew he was a cop. Well, obviously, that's it's also I'm from both videos I saw. It doesn't look like the guy actually shot at the teens. It looked more like to me a warning shot, but it could have been a I shot a round off on accident. It could be that. Either way, it doesn't look very good. Whether a warning shot or a I got scared and popped the round off shot. I put my finger in the trigger well shot. But if this guy's a cop, he knows he's not supposed to put his finger in the trigger well unless he's ready to shoot. That is across the board, whether military or in the police. You don't put your finger in the trigger well unless you're ready to kill your target, or not kill your target, or stop your target. That's the best word to put it, the way you put it. Do I have an opinion? I don't know. My opinion is on this Anaheim shooting is one, teenagers are going to be teenagers. I remember as a child, I've walked across people's yards and stuff like that. It's not a disrespect thing. It's just the shortcut to somebody else's house, and it's not because I'm deliberately disrespecting you. Oh, you told me not to do it, so I'm gonna do it. It's not one of them things. It's just shortcut. As a teenager, cut through somebody's yard. You know, somebody screams out the window, "Get out of my yard!" I'm like, "I'm sorry." Matter of fact, there was this one time when I was a teenager when the police was chasing me. I was a foster kid, and my foster or what do you call it, social worker. My social worker wanted to take me somewhere, and I didn't want to go. I was crazy at this time because my dad had just got locked up. I wasn't listening to anybody. So what my crazy ass did was I jumped my back fence. My social worker started chasing me. The police started chasing me, and it was funny because my neighbor was in her yard, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "I'm so sorry." I even stopped to apologize, and I took off. The police didn't catch me until like a mile up the road. So yeah, that's crazy. I think my class is coming in, so I'm about to start doing that. But I don't know what you guys think. With the whole children defending themselves, because it looks to me as the children were defending their friend. The kid at one point even said, "I'm defending myself because I'm scared now." Because the guy had a hold of his collar and was dragging him around like, "I'm not letting you go anywhere." I don't know what really happened. Like I said, he say she say stuff. The kids say that he told the adult respect a girl that walked past or something because he called her a cunt. He said you need to respect her, and that's how things popped off. I'm not sure what really happened. Like I said, I just want to know what you guys think. At least from my own perspective, a lot of people have been talking about the kid should have respected the adult, but then again, these are kids. A lot of people don't have a problem with the police officer shooting. I do, because whether it was a warning shot or whether he was scared, it's a different situation. You don't put your finger in your trigger well. We know that across the board. You don't do it unless you're ready to kill. All right. I don't know if warning shots are legal in California, so I don't know how that should play out. He should still receive some type of punishment. The kids are probably gonna. Obviously, they're going to receive a punishment. I don't believe he should have taken out his weapon, but I understand why, because one of the teenagers swung at him. Ain't nothing you can do at that point. He could say he felt threatened, whether he's a cop or not, and he had if it's a legal weapon, he could do it. So, but I've been hearing a lot of people say the teenager should have just respected him and let him do and say whatever he wanted to. She just let him grab up on him, stop fighting him. No. So I have a story. When I was 14 years old, before my dad got locked up, we moved to the hood, and there's this little hood, little project. We got moved out of our own apartment because they raised the rent and he couldn't afford that. With 3 jobs, mind you, he couldn't afford that. So we went to the hood, and my father, one night my father I used to lug, not groceries. I used to lug groceries up and down Georgia Avenue, but I also used to lug my laundry up and down Georgia Avenue. A police raid happened when I was right outside going into my house. A police officer roughed me up, had his knee on my neck, threw me to the ground, put his knee on my neck, and I'm pretty sure he had his weapon on my head. It was a drug raid, and a bunch of kids were out there selling drugs. A bunch of teenagers were out there selling drugs, and I was around them. And I was literally just walking up to them. It was just, get the fuck on the ground. And when I told my father this, my father was just like, whatever. I told this story before, and my father was like, well, you didn't get hurt. The clothes aren't that dirty. Just take them upstairs, fold them, do your chores, and be done. I'm sorry that it happened to you. But my father never did anything about it. He didn't go to the district. He didn't go to the precinct. He didn't say anything. He just let his son get roughed up by the police for nothing. And this has happened to me on 2 other occasions other than that one. I didn't even tell my dad because there was no point at that point. Because, like, if he ain't going to do nothing for the first one, he's not going to do nothing for the second one. And my whole point is, when I have children, I'm not going to do that with my children. My children are going to stand up for themselves. And I don't care. My children are not going to care whether you have a gun or not. Now, that sounds stupid, but I don't want my kids to know. Because when I grew up, I was thinking, like, it just... So I should just let these police officers beat on me and do these things to me when I know I'm in the right. I didn't do anything. It's not even one of those cases where it's a mistaken identity. It's not even one of those cases where it's like, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. The first time, the second time, the next. Actually, you know what? I just lied because both the second times was mistaken identity. The first time was wrong place, wrong time. But nonetheless, a parent should do something about it. A parent should teach their child to take up from themselves. A parent should teach their child to not be submissive in certain situations. Because I feel like in that situation, the teenagers were reacting the way they should have reacted, okay? Hey, respect her. And I don't know what happened after that. I know that if a guy had grabbed me when I was a kid, I would have fought back too. So you can't blame the teenagers for being teenagers. That's my number one. I understand why the guy pulled his weapon. He didn't pull his weapon all the way up until the point where the guy swung at him. The guy swung at him. He had every right after that point to pull his weapon. Can't do nothing about that one. But what do you guys feel like? What do you guys think? Do you guys feel like the kid should just let the adult say whatever he wants to say? Let the adult do what he wants? After the adult grabbed the teenager, the 13-year-old, do you think the 13-year-old should have went limp and just let him do whatever? Like, what do you guys think? Because I'm teaching my kids to fight back. I don't care. They're going to learn a martial art. They're going to know their rights. They're also going to learn how to fight back. Maybe even fire a weapon. My kids will be soldiers. They will be conscious. They will know what to do or what not to do. They will know to respect authority, but they will also know that if the authority is in the wrong, is obviously in the wrong, then you have every right to fight back. I will not raise my kids to be sheep, these sheep. Like a lot of these rednecks say, my kids are gonna learn how to shoot and do all this other stuff. My kids will be the same exact way, just not rednecks, just black necks. I like that, black necks. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. I'm probably going to turn off the comments because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get called a nigger in the first fucking 3 days of this video. I'm not going to turn the comments off. I'm going to turn off the approvals and the likes and all this other stuff. I'm going to turn on the approval and turn off the likes and stuff. All right, guys, let me know.